Oh, fucking A. So anyway, I'll just close it up pretty quick here. This is just going to be continuation of the stream that I had a couple of seconds ago. My system crashed for some reason. But anyway, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet here. So those are basically you can take a look at, and this is something that I'm personally looking at. FCX, Freeport is one of them. Obviously, it's so big. Other things we can take a look at, and this is something I'll go more in depth is. Things that are necessarily, things that are basically really beaten up right now, but things that we always need. Producers, explorers, miners, drillers, steel manufacturers, all this kind of stuff, the industrials, stuff like that, because they're all going to be beat up. So, for example, Alcoa, AK Steel, all these different, these types of companies or these types of um, opportunity might show up because even by now, I mean, they're all beat up. I mean, yeah, they can go down, but how much? At some point they'll be like, well, what's the point? At some point, there'll be, like for example, AK Steel is at like $1.80. How much more can it go? It can't go. I mean, it can't go even more than this. But that if you have essentially capital outflow to a point where there's not a whole lot more capital to be outflowing, then it kind of stalls, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Also, in a downtrending market, it pays to be in the big. What the fuck? It pays to be like in big caps, but the problem with nowadays might be there's a one thing that might be a problem, and that is in since everyone's loaded up in ETFs, you have a lot of big caps. So everyone's really bought into big caps. So if people are selling, you might actually have a lot of people coming out of big cap companies, and they would be losing more value. They'll go up and down in price more so in relation to times before when we had crashes before. So that's something to keep in mind. But generally speaking, they hold the their value pretty well. So they're going to be fairly more defensive. And when basically there's no the small cap stop going down because it is down. Everyone has left that field. Everyone left the building. Then those are the time to get into. If you look at RUT, clearly as you can see, um, it was it did pretty shitty. I mean, relatively speaking, it I think went down more so than SPX, but that's kind of academic. I'm tired as fuck today. So Alcoa again, something I was looking at. Look at the implied volatility on it. So it's 155. I mean, obviously it's really wide right, and not right now, but in the morning I had a different. It was much better. You have mid, credit right there. So again, I mean, this is a little bit of a long-term trades that I'm looking at. Essentially, if you have a portfolio that you're managing, I mean, you go slowly, but you can like get into these kind of positions. Now, given the shape we're in right now, still not really advisable for people to get into positions because this is barely, in my opinion, the start of it, of of the next phases that we're going to see things like have a cascading effect. Um, but yeah, man, I'm really tired. I'm just gonna let go. I don't think I have a lot of viewers today. So VIX, you can see VIX, So I said yesterday, it looks like VIX is not consistently keeping staying up. So again, bad news there. Um, so yeah, I'll just stop it here. Um, and yeah, I mean, right now, you know, again, what we were expecting the market to do, it did, right? Eventuality kind of set in, and I do think that maybe it might go up even tomorrow. Maybe good news, but those are all selling, all sell the news, right? And given how far it, given the type of fear that might cause, Friday will be an interesting day. Is it gonna be a day where the last second people are selling out, or is it just people who have positions, that they're taking profits and they are unwinding the positions and closing the shorts, right? So the thing is that there's so much pressure, the market might still be going lower on Friday if things get worse from now. Because the thing with this disease is that once they go, this thing, just balloons. And the way they dealt with this is quite shitty. So it's going to probably balloon real bad. So, yeah, the thing is, will be interesting on Friday because on Friday you could have made some trades before because, people will take profits if the short positions on. But now, I mean, you might have people who are taking profits, but there might be people who are really worried about things on what's going to happen over the weekend and close at the position, like sell all this shit, right? So that's a good possibility. Again, the levels we were taking a look at, also something that I missed is it held pretty good, pretty strong. I mean, again, simple shit. Why? Because other traders are looking at it. This is something you can go to, like the Dow theory or some old book about technical analysis and see them, and it's not rocket science exactly. So took all my crap over there. So essentially 27.41, it hit that zone, hit 27. Oh, it claimed close to the 27.03 or something like that I had the level at the top end, 828.05 or so, that it touched a couple of times, and in fact congested there for a few minutes early on. So again, those levels are kind of proving themselves now. At this point, it's kind of academic. If the market moves up, again, selling opportunities. If it, the expectation should be if it moves up, we are in a bear market price environment or market environment. So those are going to be going the opposite direction any second. Let's say things have sustained, and it looks to be quite bad now. But yeah, tomorrow I'll come up with some more levels. Right now, though, if you look a little bit, let me just go back out a little bit. So we hit 27, and this was like our, we were looking at 28.50 was like, we were looking at, then that was like basically kind of like where that, we were looking at the level like last week, and now we're at 27, 2700, right? So not looking good, but the point being that you can see that on a week-to-week basis, then new levels are being hit to the downside. So after 2700, 2624 or so, that goes back quite a bit. That's actually a fairly strong level. Yep, that's a fairly strong level. Then the next one is 2570. That level is not really that strong, and it goes back, like 2 years ago, but it hasn't really been a area of congestion, right? So in other words, there's a level there, but because it's happened so long ago, like how many traders are still with the same position? How many of them are still there? Now they are, but is it there enough to have people come in and say those are buying opportunities, as a pivot, as a support level. That's a weaker level than the 2631 or whatever that is. Man, I'm gonna set up my chart a little bit better. But what is this? 2629, 2629. So that's really the next level down. If that breaks, I mean, this is a we basically in a bear market, if not worse. And to be honest with you, like I said from the beginning, I think it's gonna be worse. So there you go. Adios, everyone. Have an awesome day and have an awesome night. I'll come back tomorrow. There'll be more things to go over, and I'll be a little bit more refreshed, more energized. Today, I'm not feeling it. I made barbecue. That's one of the other reasons I was outside. But that's the only good thing for the day. I'm looking forward to now. Getting my barbecue and going to bed after eating barbecue. All right. Adios. If anyone else got any question or anything like that, hope to talk to you guys later.